to standby mode. Now, as much as the M11 is designed to very much feel like an M10 camera and keep things familiar, we do have a very significant design change, and that's on the bottom of the camera here. No longer do we have that classy removable base plate that covers your battery and SD card access. There's our new and improved battery I talked about with its own incorporated base plate, and that now covers your SD card slot as well. Now, I do like this system. I like the change. It's easier to change the battery and access things, but we do still have some problems here. The old base plate system, it was a pain because if you had a quick release plate on, you had to take that off, then unlock the base plate. Here, you'd think that wouldn't be an issue. I have a tripod plate on here, I still can't open anything up, so that's unfortunate. But another interesting feature here, that SD card slot is a UHS 2 card slot, and we do have now a USB-C port on the side. And this USB-C port adds a lot of connectivity and convenience for us now. Now, if you're an Apple user, you're lucky because they provide you a USB-C and a lightning cable, and you can actually connect the camera directly to your phone, download photos, use their new version of the Leica Photos app. So that's nice. For Android users, though, you're still kind of out of luck. But I can still use this USB. Giving us exact numbers on what the wattage is so that you can power the camera and charge at the same time, but with a strong enough charger, that is absolutely a possibility. Either way, this modernizes the camera in a very important way. Now, there are some nice improvements when it comes to composing your image. Now, we've got the same rangefinder as the Leica M10, but the back panel is much improved. It's a fixed LCD, but it's now 2.3 million dots, touch screen, of course, and we also have a new menu system that's kind of like the Q2. So when you first hit the menu, you do get your quick options. You can touch screen and select them, which is really nice. And then if you want to go into the menu, hit the menu button again, and you've got all your options there. You don't have touchscreen interface in it's very easy to navigate. Now, they've also launched a brand new Visoflex EVF right alongside the M11. Now, we haven't had a chance to play with one, but it looks promising. I mean, new design, 3.68 million dots, and does fully tilt, and apparently it is still reverse compatible with the M10 as well. Now, one of my biggest complaints on the Leica M10 was this ISO dial at the top. I've never liked it. I mean, it's hard to press up, and when you do, you've got a pretty small dial to actually manipulate. So I've never enjoyed that. I've complained about it a lot, but the M11 takes care of that because we now have 3 custom function buttons. One up here next to my on-off switch, and one back here just above the menu. But the back dial now also has a press-in function, which is another function button. And this is what I love about it. It's the same simple system that Leica's used. Hold down a button just for a few seconds, and then it lets you customize. They now expanded what you can customize these buttons to. That's great. And I can now use the back dial without pressing as, for example, exposure compensation. And then when I press it in, I get that I want, and that means I never have to touch this dial on the left again. That
Okay, a little story time. I was supposed to do a 18mm. Okay, a little story time. I was supposed to do a 18mm f2 review video back in March.
Ayo, itu mana hotel?
18mm f2 lens.
Tidur. Jangan lupa diberesin ya, kantongnya ya. Ini apa? Kipernya, kopernya.
27mm f2 versus the 18. I did some test shots, but it was such a strange time. We were taking daily walks together in the neighborhood. This was when people were like scrounging for toilet paper. We weren't even wearing masks yet. I thought that I would share some of my like photojournalistic photographs that I took with the 18mm f2. But first, I'll give you a little bit of review. I mean, I returned that lens so long ago. But here's what I remember about the lens. Number one, it was a great size, but I wouldn't call it a pancake lens. You know, coming from one of my favorite lenses, the 27mm f2 lens, this lens was a little bigger. But it fit great on the XT2, XT3 body. I felt that it fit perfectly on the larger body. On the XT20, it was like, okay.